The tool which we are going to discuss in entire our 55 hours of duration is IBM InfoSphere DataStage and Quality Stage 8.7 and 9. Because most of our clients using nowadays 8.7 as well as 9.1 only versions of DataStage most of clients are using. Before we go to actual DataStage tool and its usage and its process, we will start with the fundamentals of data warehouse and data modeling. As a developer, we should also know what is data warehouse, what is the purpose of data warehouse, why we need data warehouse in our businesses, what kind of differences between the operational systems to the data warehouse systems and data warehouse life cycle. So all the fundamentals we are going to discuss as part of our session first. While I am discussing the fundamentals, let me just open. So while discussing the fundamentals of this data warehouse, I'll use some class PPTs as well as project related material to explain the data warehouse architecture, definition of data warehouse and those things. Here, we are going to discuss about why we need a data warehouse, what is the difference between operational systems to data warehouse, an introduction to data warehousing approaches, and then we'll go for data modeling also. First we'll go for what is an operational system. In actual sessions, maybe tomorrow onwards when we start actual sessions, we will discuss about what is an operational system, or we're also going to call as a OLTP. What type of data it will be there. Even though every business already have a operational systems, why we are started implementing the data warehouse? What are the characteristics of operational systems are available? What is the difference between the data warehouse to those OLTP? That we are going to call as a difference between the OLTP to OLAP. What is the full form of OLTP? Means online transaction processing systems. We are going to compare our online transaction processing systems with online analytical processing systems, that's OLAP systems. We'll also identify the difference between those two environments also. What is OLTP, what is OLAP, what are the different type of differences are there between the users, functionality wise, database design wise, data wise, usage wise, access wise. All these differences we'll also discuss as part of our training, and we'll also go for next data warehousing implementation approaches. Yes, implement a data warehouse for any business. There are different type of approaches we can see. The most popular approaches which we are going to see in data warehousing implementation, which is going to be decided by architect, is top-down approach or bottom-up approach. As part of our training, we will also discuss what is this top-down approach to implement a data warehouse. Then what is this bottom-up approach to implement a data warehouse. How data warehouse is going to create in the top-down approach, bottom approach, differences between those two. Then we'll go for architecture of data warehouse for every business. Let me just show you some example project architecture. Just going for project. From every business, when you see, this is one of the project architecture, end-to-end logical architecture. Whatever the data we are having in daily transactional systems, that data we are loading into data warehouse, right? Whatever the OLTPs means, these are the OLTPs. AOFE, workflows, OH cards, ape system, CAMS, hub system, all these are the transactional systems. These transactional systems are the one which are going to maintain daily transactional data. This data we will load into a data warehouse. These transactional systems we will load into data warehouse. we are going to have a views, summary tables, aggregation tables, all these kind of data will be there in the data warehouse. And in between, this is OLTP system, this is data warehouse. In between OLTP and data warehouse, we'll have all the ETL. This is the DataStage tool, which is going to be installed on Linux machine or Unix machine mostly. Sometimes, yes, we can see these ETL tools like DataStage, Cognos, in Informatica, those kind of ETL tools, they will install on Windows machines, but most of clients, they will install these softwares on Unix or Linux. And this DataStage tool is going to act as intermediate tool to extract the data from all these heterogeneous sources, do some transformations, load into staging area, and from there we will load into data warehouse. From there we will create a mods, and from there reporting team will start generating the reports for the business. These kind of architectures are going to be created by architects of our project. Whoever is working as an architect, data warehousing architect, they will create these kind of architectures. Okay, because this architecture will give to the developers to understand the flow. What is your sources? What is your target? What is your intermediate process? And why we are going to have a reporting, what kind of reporting tool we are using to generate the reporting. All this information will be there in the data warehousing architecture. Once architecture completed as part of our training, then we'll go for a data modeling. See, if you are working as a DataStage developer or even DataStage administrator or quality stage developer or production support executive, okay, who is doing the production batches in the daily monitoring activities, you are all going to involve in the DataStage tool, but you will not involve in the modeling. Who will involve in the modeling actually? There are separate teams are there for doing of data modeling. Those we are going to call as a modelers. Whoever is working as a modeling team. In the data modeling, there are different kind of the data modeling approaches we are having. Those are introduction to data modeling, entity relationship model, data modeling for data warehouses, normalization process, dimension tables and fact tables, star schema, snowflake schema, all these kind of the concepts we need to know as part of modeling. But I'm working or I want to work as a DataStage developer or DataStage senior developer, or maybe should I need to know, completely modeling is not required. At least basic idea. What is a dimension table? What is a fact table? What is star schema? Snowflake schema? How normalization we did on our data? These are the basic spot we need to know as part of our modeling. That we will discuss. Because if we want to discuss complete modeling, we need to have a separate tool. There are data modeling tools are available. Those tools like Erwin, those kind of different tools are also there. Those tools also we will have, but data modeling is the one. The data modeling we will be having the a relationship between business, what kind of tables we are having, what type of relationship between one table to other table, all those information will be there in the modeling. That we will discuss as part of our basics. While I am discussing about the modeling basics also, I'll use what is this data modeling, what is the steps involved in the data modeling, okay, what are the levels of data modeling is there, and what are the limitations of ER modeling, dimensional data modeling, what is the meaning of fact, what are different type of facts are there, what are different type of dimension tables are there, fact tables are there, all these basics we will discuss. While I am discussing about this modeling, I will also show you one of the project modeling reports. Okay, the other one of the project related modeling reports. I will take these modeling documents. I'll explain how we created these modeling documents, modeling design for different attributes and each attribute definition. See, in modeling, when we talk in a high level, there are three levels of modeling is there. Simply speaking, there are three levels of modeling is there. One we are going to call as a conceptual data modeling. Second one we are going to call as a logical data modeling, and third one we are going to call as a physical data modeling. Let me just show that. See, these three are the levels of modeling actually. Even as a data stage developer, you should know what is this conceptual data modeling, what our data modeling team will do in the conceptual data modeling, and then what is logical data modeling, what is the purpose of this logical data modeling, and what kind of flow they are going to have in the logical data modeling. Then we'll also discuss about the physical data modeling. Physical data modeling is the one that is the final step actually. In this final step of the physical data modeling, they will create the finally dimension tables, fact tables, or schemas and everything. They are going to create, and those will be used by ETL developers to extract the data, to do transformations, and finally to load the data into data warehouse also. Okay. First, as part of fundamentals, we'll discuss all these. Once these are all completed, we'll go for a architecture of this data stage. This is the architecture. When we go for our data stage tool, data stage we are going to call from data stage 8.1 version onwards. We are going to call 8.5, 8.7, 9.1. All these versions we are going to call as a IBM InfoSphere data stage and quality stage. But the architecture we are going to have here is IBM InfoSphere information server. The architecture we are going to call here is IBM InfoSphere information server architecture. Whatever the IBM InfoSphere information server architecture, we are going to have different components are there, different tiers are there. Those are client tier, services tier, metadata repository tier, engine tier. This entire architecture is divided into 4 layers, simply speaking. This first layer we are going to call as a client layer. Second layer we are going to call as services layer. Third layer we are going to call as metadata repository layer. And fourth layer we are going to call as a engine layer. Okay. All the other 4 different layers are available actually. We should know each layer purpose. In actual class we will discuss what is this client layer or tier, what is this services tier, what is this metadata repository tier, what is this engine tier. All these we are going to discuss as part of our training. And once we are done with the architecture part, then we'll go for actual ETL tool. What is this data stage? Okay, what is the purpose of data stage? We can simply call data stage is a one of the graphical user based interface ETL tool which is used to create a usable data warehouse or data mart applications. Simply speaking, data warehouse is a data stage is a one of the ETL tool. It has multiple components inside this data stage tool. Those are server jobs, parallel jobs, mainframe jobs, sequence jobs, all the other different environments are available. Data stage, we're having multiple platforms are there simply. Server jobs, parallel jobs, mainframe jobs, and sequence jobs. We will also discuss as part of our training what is this parallel job, what is this sequencer jobs, and basic server jobs also we will discuss. But mainframe jobs we will not use, most of our clients not using. Only if source is mainframe to read, and if target also mainframe, in the situation only we are using mainframe jobs. Other than that, most of time we can see parallel jobs is the one where we are going to use to do ETL operation. That we will discuss in the introduction session. Once we are done with the introduction session of the DataStage 9.1 and 8.7, those two, then we'll go for actual tool. Once software installed on your machine, these all client components will appear on your machine. We will also install software on your machine. Okay, we will provide you software and we'll also install software on your machine for practice. And once software installed, you can be able to log into all these clients. The below two, whatever I am showing you here is administrative clients. That means in DataStage, we have different components are there, simply speaking. Those are developer components and administrator components. Okay, even when you go for job also, when you observe the job portals like DICE, Corp to Corp, Monster USA or Monster India, these kind of job portals, there also you can find different roles of DataStage requirements are there. If you are DataStage developer role, if you are having DataStage and quality stage requirement, if you are having completely administration requirement, whoever want to go for administration side, they should have a good knowledge on Unix scripting, and we should have a complete understanding and complete way of complete way of executing the administration activities like creation of new users who are joined as a new employee in organization. If one employee moved out of this project, we need to remove his account from services tiers and need to establish a connectivity between one type to other type. How to get the logs, what is the log we are generating, okay? The logs also we are going to generate. All these we are going to have in the these two administrative clients. When you go for administrative clients, one we are going to call as a web console for IBM information server, and second one is administration client. These two are going to be useful for doing of administration activities. I'm just showing you how to do administration activities. I'm now logging into this one, web console. See, this is a web-based administrator client. I'll also discuss as part of our training administration activities also, both developer part as well as admin part. Here, I'm using login. If you have any question, please ask me. Okay. Admin, I'm just logging as administrator. Once you log in, you can see that this is the welcome screen, and we have different tabs are there: administration tab, glossary, information services catalog, reporting, repository management. If you go for administration tab, actually, in the administration tab, our administrators are going to use all these administration management activities to perform admin activities, especially if any new employee joined, or if you want to change the role of this particular developer, or if you want to create a new user or new group. Those activities administrator is going to perform in the users and groups. There is an option called users and groups. In the users and groups, he will perform the creation of new users, allocation of roles to them. All those activities we are going to perform. That's about the users and groups are there. Okay. See, they are all users, existing users. I created two groups. In actual training, I'll show you how to create the users, and once we create the users, how to allocate the roles to them. For example, I'm selecting one user with the name Suresh, and if you want to change any roles, there are different kind of roles are there actually. If you want to change any of these roles, right now what roles are available means for Suresh we have only these 4 roles. If you want to put all those roles, you can just select all these roles and click on save. Automatically once you select any of the role, the save and close options will be enabled. You can save. This way you can change the existing role, you can create a new user, add roles to them. All these operations we are going to perform in a web console. That is administration activities. Similarly, log management, schedule management, all these also we will discuss. Complete administration part I will also cover as part of this training. And reporting as well. Reporting means once any job ran, that may be data stage job, or that may be quality stage job, or that may be information analyzer activity, anything. When we are running, we'll also get some kind of reports actually. Those reports also will be saved in the web console. This is called web console client. In the web console, if you want to see any of these reports, just I am showing you one job report, how the job ran, at how much time the job ran, all those information. If you want to see, select the job, click on view report results. When you click on this view report results, it shows the complete job design details. This is a graphical data stage job, and this has these properties. Here, these columns, everything will come into the report. Okay. I'll show you in actual class how to get these reports, how to create our own report for data stage, quality stage, information analyzer, and those things also we'll discuss as part of the information server. That is about the web-based administrator, and this is desktop administrator. I'll also discuss how to use this desktop administrator client as well. And these two are completely about administration. Okay, we'll also discuss both. Next, we'll go for development parts. In development part, what our developers will do. In developers means every day, if you are working as a data stage developer, will be always logging into two main clients. Those are IBM InfoSphere Data State and Quality State Designer and IBM InfoSphere Data State and Quality State Director. These two. Okay, double click on this. I'm just logging into this one. I'll show you. Even I'm not creating right now any new jobs, just I'm showing you what are the jobs I created already for my old batch, previous batches. And here, they are all clients also we will discuss. How to do deploying the code from one environment to other environment, how to migrate the database stages from old version of databases to latest version of database. For example, whoever is worked on data stage earlier version like 7.0, 6.0, those versions. At the time we use those databases also very old versions of database, especially if you go for Oracle, we use Oracle 8 version, but now we are using only Oracle 9i or Oracle 10g or 11i or maybe latest versions of Oracle, right? If your data stage job has old version of database that you want to replace completely the new version of database, instead of doing manually, we have a automated process that we are going to call as a connector migration tool. I'll also discuss how to do migrating the old version of database to latest version of database options in data stage level. See, now I'm into data stage tool. In this, as I told you, okay, we are going to have different kind of jobs are there: mainframe, parallel, sequence, server. But most of our clients are using parallel job because it has parallelism concept. Will support a parallelism execution. Selecting the parallel job, click OK. This is the environment where we are going to develop the job. I'm just showing you what are the jobs I already developed. Click view, go to repository. Repository is a place where we are going to save all our jobs. I'm just opening the job folder. Okay, for different batches, I discussed different jobs. See, this is one of the job. This is a graphical data stage job. What this job is doing is, it's reading the data from some Oracle database table and doing some intermediate operation like modifying, aggregation, and joining, sorting, filtering everything. Finally, it's loading the data into different output database tables. This output may be a data warehouse or intermediate, maybe staging area also. If it is staging area tables, again we will have one more job to load the data into data warehouse tables as well. Means every job will not load directly into data warehouse tables. Some will create intermediate table, then from there it will go into load into actual data warehouse also. Okay, this way we will have our jobs discussion, and we'll also design how to design this kind of job. That may be a complex job or maybe simple job also. Some are simple jobs and some are complex jobs, a little bit complex, which are having, and some are even inside this transformation, which shows like very simple, but inside this stage we have a lot of operations are there. But here there is no coding. Please remember that this is entire graphical tool only. There is nothing coding. Only small functions will be there like this to do some basic operation like generating a unique number, input row numbers count, output row numbers count, padding of extra characters, extra string, trimming, Trimming also we are going to specify there. Not null check, right, left. All the basic functions what we are having in databases. Similar kind of functions also there in DataStage. Those functions we will also use to do our ETL operations as part of our training. Okay, that all we will discuss. DataStage designer, working with parallel jobs, like how to work with the database stages, how to come get the data from the flat files. Flat files means if you have .txt files, .csv files, .dat files if you want to read, we use this file category stage. Once we read those data, we want to do all the transformation operations. Transformation operations in the sense, see, this is the source file stage. Intermediate we have transformer stage. That's for transformation operations. And see, even in this example also, this is source file. This is target files. But intermediate we have a lot of transformations, right? All these kind of transformation operations if you want to perform, we use these processing stages like copy, filter, funnel, sort, remove duplicate, aggregate, modify, compress, expand, decode, encode, switch, pivot, lookup, join, merge. All these kind of operations we are going to perform. And then we'll go for debug and development stage also there for debugging of our job. And some of the real-time stays also available for processing of XML data and creation of routines. Routines means C++ programs. And what are the advanced options are available. Once we are done with the complete development part, we'll go for data state director as well. What is this data state director means? This is also one of the client component. We are going to get with this. What kind of actions we are going to perform in this data state director means log. See, after every job run, we are going to create some kind of log. See, if you observe here, some jobs are showing compiled, some are not compiled, some are finished, some are finished C log, some are aborted. Aborted means failed. All these different kind of the options are available actually. This is all we will discuss. How to compile, okay, how to run the job in case if any job is having any issue, data issue or something, how to overcome the data issues. All these we are going to get from the log. Log is the one we are going to understand this log to execute the job flow and to understand the what is the failure we are having, the failure details also. Those all we will discuss as part of our training, how to create the data stage jobs, what kind of data stage job we are going to create, and how to get the validation logs, execution of data stage jobs, job execution status, monitoring of the jobs, job log views, job scheduling views, creation of batches, scheduling of the batches. All these we will discuss as part of our data stage director. And we already discussed about data stage administration. Administration means administration activities. And next is there is a separate environment called job sequencer. Let me just show you. See, every day we are having team of 10 developers. For example, we are working in a project. We are having a team of 10 developers. If we have a team of 10 developers, each developer developed, for example, 10 jobs, then totally 100 jobs or more than that also they developed. For example, when they developed some X number of jobs, okay, what are the X number of jobs they developed here? Those jobs, instead of running individually, we want to execute those jobs in an order by specifying a sequencer. Means when we go for this data stage tool, we are going to create kind of a sequence actually. That sequence means a kind of batch job. If you want to create any kind of batch job or something, we'll use sequencer job concept. Let me just show you. This is sequencer. So just an example. After developing a job by each developer, we want to run those jobs as a batch. See, these 4 jobs I want to run parallelly. Inside this, we have one data stage job. If you want to open, right click on this. This is a job we have inside this. I'll show you in actual class how to create this kind of batches and how to run a batch instead of running in individual job. Okay, how to execute command activities, zipping up a file or whatever it may be. Okay, WC myself of that particular file, number to identify the number of records in the file. If you want to run a same job multiple times, kind of. Generally, we'll also have some kind of loops also there. If you want to create a kind of loop, what kind of loops we're having, how to create a start loop and loop activities. All these we will discuss as part of our training in a sequence. Sequencer is a separate environment that also we will discuss. Once this one done, we will also discuss about a quality stage. As part of our data stage training, we also can see quality stage. See, most of our clients, whoever is asking data stage, they are looking for data stage. Only few clients, especially, they are looking for a quality stage knowledge and quality stage exposure as well. I also have a good experience on quality stage because my project also having quality stage. We also implemented different data quality challenges. We will discuss as part of our training how to use this quality stage tool. What kind of data quality we'll implement, what kind of approaches we'll have for data quality, why we need data quality for any of the project. Especially when you go for quality stage, there are different kind of quality stage operations are there. Those we are going to call as a investigation operation, standardization operation, match operation, and survive operation. AVI means address verification interface, then data rule. These are the main operations we are going to perform in quality stage. As part of our training, I'll also develop separate job for quality stage. I'm just showing you some quality stage jobs. Or else I have the jobs. Wait. See, these are the quality stage jobs which I am developing. These are not normal data stage jobs. These are having some special stages are available. Those stages are called, let me open my palette. Here I can see there are data quality. These are the quality stages. As part of our training, normally, see, most of trainers, what they are going to do, they will generally discuss normal stage only. They will not discuss quality stage. But I have experience on quality stage also. I'll also discuss how to use this data quality. Because some clients are, requiring about how to use this data quality also as part of data quality challenges. What kind of data quality challenges we'll face, how to overcome those challenges, and what type of the data we are going to use. Sometimes, especially when you take address formats, phone numbers, email IDs, all these kind of columns, we will verify whether that address formats are correct or not, whether these phone number values are correct or not. All those need to be verified. For example, one customer opened a bank account. He mentioned that address in different way. Actually, the standard way is different and he mentioned is different. In that situation, whether he mentioned correct address format or not, we need to identify that. We'll have a quality stage process. Those we are going to call as investigation stage, match frequency, MNS. What is the full form of MNS? Means multinational standardization stage, and quality stage legacy, reference match, SQA. SQA means standardized quality assessment, and standardization stage, survey stage, unduplicate match, which is used to identify the duplicate records. Then waves. What is the full form of waves? Means worldwide address verification and enhancement system. Okay, this is all we will discuss as part of our training. We'll also discuss as part of our training. Okay, what is this quality stage? How to use this quality stage? What kind of data quality challenges we are going to implement? All this we will discuss in this. That's an investigation. Then we'll also go for a standardization operation. How to implement the standardization stage? What kind of standardization operation we'll perform? See, the other standardization stage. If you open the standardization stage, especially for different countries, we'll have a different standardization formats are there. Okay, those standardization rules will apply different countries. Means, for example, I am just applying in this example USA rules at a time, right? US name, US address, US area, validation of date, taxation number, email ID, all these kind of rules I'll apply. I'll show you how to apply these all the rules and what kind of rules you'll apply on the data as well. These all I'll show you how to use match reference, reference frequency, survives operation, household operations, populated customer master data finally with the data rules. All these we will discuss as part of our training quality stay also. Once quality stay also completed, we'll go for a complete project. 15 hours of project we will discuss. That's completely live project, not a theoretical discussion or something. I'll take one project jobs. I'll explain from the starting of architecture of the project to the dimension tables, fact tables, flow of subject area discussions, design of HLDs and LLDs, high level design and low level designs, project flow, job designs and project flow with ETL documentation, complex jobs, discussions and unit testing process. And we'll also discuss about the system and user acceptance testing and regression testing, deployment process of code. We'll also deploy the code from one environment to other environment. All these we will discuss. And even as part of the project where I'm discussing the project also, I'll discuss about the production support process, how we are going to do production support. And then we'll go for Unix scripting for automation. Means while discussing the project, I'll also use some Unix scripts. Even I'm also familiar with the scripting. I'll also discuss some scripts. How to run a DataStage job by using script. These kind of scripts I'll explain. What this script, how to write this kind of scripts actually. And for example, if you want to archive files, every day once we receive the files, after processing of those files to warehouse, we'll also archive those files. How to do archival process, what kind of archive scripts are there. Once archive is done, only 15 days we'll maintain an archive folder. That how to do archiving process. And connection of this data stage to other systems, how to do the SFTP. SFTP means secure file transfer. We'll have generally secure file transfer related scripts also we will use in projects. I'll also discuss how to use the secure file transfer related scripts are there. How to write these kind of scripts. Okay, the scripting part as well we'll discuss as part of our training. And we'll also discuss about some complex jobs. And I can show you any of the scheduling tool like R2Sys, Control M, TWS, this kind of scheduling tools theoretically. Practically we are not able to show because these tools are not free tools to show you outside. I will also explain how to use this R2Sys or Control M, these kind of tools. And we'll also discuss about some kind of defects, what kind of defects you faced in your project, what the critical situation you faced, where you feel I need help, what kind of critical process you solved, all those also we will discuss as part of our project training. And when I'm discussing about project, I'll also provide you complete project material which project I'm discussing. It may be banking or healthcare or any project, depends on our requirement. While discussing any of the project completely, that project related documents also I'm going to share you guys. And apart from that, I will provide you plenty of materials. See, these are all the materials I'm going to share you guys. These are all Unix scripts I'll share you. I'll explain. Sample data I'll only provide to share, for practicing of the jobs. Some Teradata materials. There are PDFs. Some ETL testing materials. Okay, what kind of test case we'll write. How to do unit testing. How to do regression testing. All those. And data racing fundamentals materials. Certification related dump. If anyone want to write certification, I'll also provide the certification dump. And project related materials, project related complex scenarios, and class PPTs which I am going to use for class to discuss the class. Those class PPTs also I'll show you. Modeling reports, okay, data modeling reports also I'll share you, and the control and scheduling tool. All these I'll show you as part of our training. Apart from this, every day, whatever the class we are having, that class also we are going to record. That recorded session of the class also we will share you, and how I'm creating these all the jobs, right? All these jobs I'll put with the month name by batch, April batch, May batch, like this. Okay, I'm running multiple batches actually. Okay, all those jobs I'm going to put in a folder. This folder I'm going to share you guys. You can also just import into your machine. You can also use those as a reference while you are practicing. Okay, you'll get plenty of materials, performance tuning related information, and the materials also going to cover data warehousing fundamentals, DataStage, Unix commands, Unix scripts, shell scripting, database, and everything. And you'll also get certification help. If you need any other materials or anything also, which I'm showing in project or which I'm showing in normal classes, I'll also provide those as well. That's all for today's just introductory or demo session. If you have any questions, you can ask. And this class will be week 6 days, except US evening Saturday. We'll have Monday to Sunday, except Saturday. Okay, we'll have that class, and we'll have every day 1.5 hour. That depends on you guys' availability. We will discuss hours wise 55 hours, days wise 35 to 40 days. Any questions here? Anyone having any questions?
Yes, Suresh. I have a question regarding to administration. Like, as you mentioned, there is web-based administrative login and client-based. So, what exactly the difference?
See, web-based client, web-based admin is the one which is going to, global admin, simply speaking, not only specific to this project or specific to this server. For example, we have multiple engines, engine 1, engine 2, like this, right? Each engine has different, in DataStage technology, we are going to call with the name node. Node is there, okay, the technology, node 1, node 2, node 3, like this. These days, what our administrators are doing is, instead of allocating one particular DataStage server specific to the project, they are allocating kind of managed services. That means, same ETL server will be used by multiple projects. That's kind of sharing of the resources, both hardware as well as software. Whenever we are doing the sharing, that means half an hour before, the place where my DataStage job run, after my job completed, maybe your project job is also running on this. That means we both need to have access to that particular server, right? Instead of creating in a specific project level, we want to create a global, the user IDs and everything global. For that, we have a separate admin, separate client that we are going to call as a web console.
So,
old versions of DataStage like 7.5x2, 6.0 at that time, we don't have this one. We have at the time only desktop administration only, and at that time, we are going to create a users and everything in operating system level, that means Unix level. But right now from 8.1 version onwards, we have this global administration that is going to be useful for creation of users groups and allocation of roles and everything in a information server level, not any specific to DataStage, not any specific to server level.
Okay, a server, if have a different version of client, then how this created user can access to
what is the identity? Different version of client in the sense?
Means 8.5 I can install, or I can use 8.9.
Yep, when you install this software, okay, we are going to have establishing a connect. If you install both client as well as server on same machine,
yeah,
an automatic connection is going to be established. If you open this web console, let me just show. If you install on different machines, then admin need to manually set up the connectivity. So when you go for this administration tab, if you go for this domain management, whatever you're asking, look at this one, engine credentials. If I select that particular engine, right now in my machine I have only one engine, but in working environment general we'll have multiple engines. If you click on open configuration, see, share user registry between information server and its corresponding engine. If I enable this one, whatever the user registry we created in the information server, the same user registry will be used to log into any of the engine. If I did not enable this one, we need to create an individual user registry for each and every. That will be a critical process. Means unnecessary manual effort. We need to do it. But if I enable at the time of creation of users, what are the user registry we are creating in the users and groups on the information server? Those all will be can be useful for accessing of its corresponding engines. That way, this web console is. We can establish a LDAP connections, and we will no need to manually do any connections from engine to client. See, when we install DataStage software, there are two main components are going to be installed: server, and second one is client. Client is nothing but client components: designer, director, uh, connection migration tool, information server manager, all those client components. Apart from that, engine is there. Engine is going to be purely installed on Unix or Linux. That engine is used to run the jobs simply. It will not be useful for design the job or compile the job or something. It is useful for running of job. When you click on run button, your request will go to engine. It will execute on the engine. How it knows that means that way the connection is going to establish. That's we will discuss when I am discussing about the architecture class. If you see in the architecture, you can understand completely how a connection is. See, this is a client side. In the client side, we'll have administrator client and desktop user client. After I developed one DataStage job in the user client, when I submit run button, a request will come to services tier first. From services tier, the request will come to engine, and in the engine, your job will execute. After execution completed, a log will be again displayed into the user clients. This way, all these service missions will be having connectivity. That's the responsibility of admin team. They should take care about the connectivity between one mission to other mission. Any other questions?
So the engine and services should be in the one server, right? Always.
That depends. Depends. You are following 3-tier architecture or 4-tier or 2-tier or 1-tier. Depends on your hardware structure. You can get all these. For example, you are following 3-tier. Client is going to be separate mission. Services will be separate mission. Engine and repository on same mission. If you are following 4-tier, client is going to be on separate mission. Services will be on separate mission. Engine will be on separate mission. Repository will be on separate mission. That way. If you are following 2-tier, client is going to be separate mission. These three all will be on same mission, same physical mission. That's purely your hardware, depends on hardware structure.
Okay.
Any other questions?
Yeah, is there any enhancement to SFTP since we can do FTP till 8.5? But if you want to do the SFTP, you have to write again a shell script.
Right.
So,
even still we are also using same.
but there is
yeah.
There is an option like even we can use the SFTP. I tried, but like FTP FTP stage how we use, but there is an option to use SFTP also. But
Yep, we can use SFTP, but it's not good to go because when you compare with the Unix scripting, how we are following the SFTP process to the FTP stage, what we have in DataStage, always script is giving good performance than this SFTP stage to process the files. Sometimes, yeah.
So is it only for the issue in the Windows server or it across the Unix and Linux also? Means if the
Yeah, Unix and Linux also. That's a stage issue. That's not a specific to operating system issue or something.
Okay.
Because most of clients are going to install on Unix or Linux only. Even though my company, we are using Linux, Red Hat Linux. That's also we are facing issue. That's what we are using Unix script for doing of SFTP.
Is there any feature for data quality to plug in external database system like DUNS? They have the entire US database.
That's the AVI stage. AVI is the stage where we are going to get some plugins. AVI, address verification interface, is the one stage. That is a separate plugin that we need to purchase from IBM. When we purchase from IBM, they will give a separate database for us. That whenever we are comparing our data, for example, one customer applied for a credit card today, just an example in banking.
Okay.
Whenever he applied for a credit card, okay, he filled an application form with his address and everything, right? Yeah. We want to verify whether he mentioned correct address or not. I don't know what is the exact address manually, simply speaking. Then I'm going to compare this customer field application with the actual reference database what I'm having. In the reference database, we are having a actual address format and everything. This data
Okay.
I'm going to cross verify with that database, then we'll get into the results.
Yeah, coming to that point, like you are verifying with the actual database,
Mm.
actual data, but
Right.
there is a ready-made available uh, data through the external source like DUNS. They will provide through the database. Just we can plug in and we can. For that, do we need to again extract and load into our local database? Then only we can perform that, or directly we can plug into their whatever they provide the database uh, to that, and simply we can cross verify.
We can do that as well, even by using web services. For example, some data is in just an example I'm telling you. Just take an example of currency rates,
Mm-hmm.
right? Those currency rates are going to be changed every day.
Okay.
We don't need to copy those data into local machine first and then no need to compare. For example, you are doing currency conversions. For that, directly, what are the data you are getting from our sources? That data you will do look up with the web-based data. For that,
Mm-hmm.
we use web services.
Okay.
But except web services, what are the other states we are having? Those states will not be able to connect to directly the remote missions or something. It will not possible to get the data, or for that reason, mostly we'll use web services. By using web services, yes, we can connect to the remote database also. That's going to be online updates. That updates can be fetched at any time and you can use for your reference.
Okay. Yeah. So, is there any new feature or announcement to take the feed from the kind of a Facebook or Google Maps into the our transformer or into through extract and load into the target?
That is available 11.3, I think. I don't think so. Up to 8.7 and 9.1, I don't think so any plugins are available to get the data
Mhm.
from, because my project also we are working with the big data.
Okay.
To get the data directly from
Facebook.
images, audio files, semi-structured data to process. Up to
Mm.
8.7 and 9.1, we don't have any such a functionality.
Mm.
In 11.3, we have, I think, but I also did not work on 11.3. It will take some time, even my project also, to move into 11.3. Yes, in 11.3, I think we have to read the data from directly from web-based systems without using any web-based services also, for both structured, semi-structured, and unstructured data as well. But up to 9.1, we have only one plugin, that is a BDFS, sorry, Big Data File Transfer System. By using that one, we can read unstructured data and semi-structured data, but that's also not a default one. There's a plugin we need to purchase.
Okay. Okay. I think I have not seen
Mhm.
mainframe source. Sorry, mainframe job type in 8.5. Uh, is I'm
No, that
correct?
is us. Yeah, that's what. See, even if you see mainframe in the sense that if you want to choose at the time of software purchase or something, then only you can mainframe comes.
Okay.
Otherwise, most of the time you can see parallel job, sequence job, and server job only. Only when you select the mainframe at the time of you are purchasing your software, then you can see mainframe separately.
Oh, okay.
Default
Suppose.
one will come is parallel, sequence, and server jobs.
Okay. So if I want to right now, if I want to purchase or enhance to the existing version, I
Mhm.
to opt for the mainframe job. Is there any way like I can uh, apply the patch and I can get it this?
Yeah, there is no need of separate patch or something. IBM will update when
Oh,
they are
oh,
giving version. We have fixed patches. For example, if you go for 8.7, 8.7.1, 8.7.2, like these fixed packs are there, they will apply that fixed pack on our software automatically from the information.
okay. So are you going to cover the partitions and node execution how?
No, no, no. This is purely development training, not administration training.
Uh,
Administration training is different. That going to take care by admin separate guy, actually there is one more guy, trainer. He will take only 50 hours only admin. There are three different types of trainings we are offering. Data stage developer, quality stage, and basic administration. That is one training. That's what we are discussing right now. Second training is only quality stage information analysis 40 hours. That is one type of training. Third is only administration 50 hours.
Okay, means for the sequence job or sorry parallel job, at least so what are the partitions I have to use?
We can
to
discuss theoretical because in our personal missions, frankly speaking, we are not able to implement really parallelism, right? Because we need multiple missions to implement parallelism. We can just discuss what is the different type of parallelism techniques are there, what is the meaning of partitioning, what is the meaning of hash partitioning, round robin, random, same, auto hash. All these we can discuss, but really speaking, with single mission, we are not able to implement parallelism.
but for the parallel job, we need to choose either there is auto, but we have to choose some any kind of partition
That
in the job.
depends on our requirements. There is no mandate. You should always choose the partition. That depends on our design, the way how we are designing the job. Based on that, you choose the proper partition technique. If you did not choose the proper partition technique, yes, it will be a problem for us as part of performance wise, as part of data what we are expecting, but there is no mandate. We will always choose the partition technique or something. Depends. Always it depends. Those will come as part of performance tuning approaches. While I am discussing the performance tuning approaches, what way we want to do performance tuning, which approaches we want to follow, all this we will discuss.
Fine. Thank you, Suresh. Thanks a lot.